This is going to be a very simple vegetarian, no cheese, but it does have dairy in it and it does have eggs in it, leek quiche. You need to get one of these if you can find one. It's just two separate halves non-stick. Don't put your knife and cut over it, because when it's done you can get them out by just doing that. And now you've got this piece here, you can slide it off. Right, it's much hotter when it's much more difficult when it's hot. There we are, we get there in the end. Where's the not easy this afternoon? Okay, this is another one of these lovely pastries. This is you can use brise, which is a very high concentration of butter, or you can use one of these, which is the flaky one. I'm using a flaky one because we happen to have it and we don't go shopping very often because of the virus. So we're trying to pull this out, and there you are. Today I'm not going to be using the paper, that's why it seems quite important. This gets you a much crispier, easier flan. This is a superb quiche, and one of the things that's wonderful about it is how quick and easy it is to make. If you know you've got guests coming and they phone you and say they're on the way, you can have this up and running with no trouble whatsoever in 20 minutes. The secret is nothing is cooked in advance. There's no cooking the pastry in advance, there's nothing. Okay, you don't prick your bottom because it will fall out. So you take a pile of eggs. Because I've taken very, very finely chopped leek, and that's very important. You have to do them very, very finely chopped. That's probably the longest part of the process. Then I put eggs. Normally I would do 6, but I've seemed to have chopped up a lot more eggs, leeks. These are 750, but obviously I've cut them down, I've peeled off the outside, so we've probably got 500 grams here of the finished product. Half of one of these, which is, you need to add about 200 grams of creme fraiche, and this is a good quality creme fraiche. I think this is 35 or even 40 percent fat. What you don't want is that 15%, because it just won't work. So you put in your creme fraiche, you put in your salt if you're using any, but because it's not good for me, we don't use any. And I like a lot of pepper, and that really is the very simple. That's it, you don't really need to do much else. Now I'm just digging this stuff off it. That's it. That's all you need to do. That's it. That's really it. You take back this and you put this in. And as you can see, there's a lot of it. It will taste fabulous. And leeks are not that expensive at this time of year. They're actually quite difficult to grow and hard work, and I think vegetables are really underpriced. That's the oven reaching temperature. Now the idea is that we put this over the top. Now you need to sort of pat it down before it, you don't want it sitting on the top and then falling out. You want it to sort of get it in there somehow. This will cook together. So you haven't got to soften anything. You haven't got to prepare anything in advance. You're not preparing a half-cooked flan. You're not doing any of that. This is the simplest flan to make a quiche of all. Okay? Yes, you could have mixed them together before they go in, but then I find they all stick to the... Well, you just end up with the liquid going in first, and it doesn't really... I think it's even harder to mix, if you're honest. So now we've got everything pretty much covered. Okay? We open up the oven and we just pop this flan in. It takes about 20-25 minutes, but normally about 20. I've got it on 175 fan, and it's just going to cook. That's it. The time people come in, you said hello to them, you give them an aperitif, you can take this out the oven. Done. Such easy food. Okay, I'll show it to you in a little while when it comes out. Right, it's had its full time in the oven. It's had its full 22 minutes. And we're just gonna let this drop off. As I said, I'm not really good at this sort of serving thing. I think I might even let Paul do this. Oh, there you are. Now it's got to be slid from there. And normally I would give it 5 minutes, but we're running late and I need to eat. Or we're not going to before our... Oops, no, that's not how it's supposed to be. You need to get it off this base, which involves just simply lifting it. Now, as I always say to you, if I can do this, anyone can do this. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble. Normally it just flies off, but you can guarantee if it's being filmed, it's more difficult. Paul? Paul! Oh dear, dear, dear. I hate serving. It never ever sticks, does it?
You normally don't let me, so you give it 5 minutes and let it cool down.
Do you think I should just give it the 5 minutes and be late for the class?
No, it's off.
No, it's not. Well, obviously, waiting the 5 minutes does matter. It does matter. I mean, I really don't want it spoilt because it looks so pretty when it's nice.
No, yes, well. You're trying to rush it and it's not ready.
I know. We got behind with the whole schedule of everything, and once the thing goes in the oven, and then I've got this class happening, and I don't look. Just put that one underneath.
You need to get a finger to that.
Right, ready?
There you go. It's off.
Yeah. Now this thing's on. How could you make such a mess out of something so simple?
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Oh, this is so typical, isn't it? Ready?
No, I can't get a grip of that. It's hot. There, it's off.
Right. So even we manage this, and there you are. So the idea is that we cut it, and you can spot what it looks like. I'm using that fancy chopping thing again because it always works. Except, of course, it probably won't today. But it... Can you see? I lift it up to the camera. What it looks like on the inside. Because it really is rather nice. That's a lot of vegetable, and it's all disguised. It's really tasty. and even my grandchildren eat this. Everyone likes it. If you cut it in very small pieces, it will still hold together nicely. Remember, I would give it another 5 minutes normally, but you see, you can put that on plates and it's almost a finger food, and in 5 minutes it will be. Now we've got to go and eat. Okay. Bye bye.